Jai Baba. Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba to all of you. Thanks to beloved Baba, we are reading this book called Meher Baba Calling, and we are on page and chapter number 39, 3 and 9, 39.
Have one heart. If you want to stick to me, you must have a clean heart. There is no use in sometimes having faith and sometimes having doubt. It is best then to leave me. Then you can lead your life in the world and be free. If you want to love me, you should not try to create confusion among yourselves. You will be loving me best by loving each other. If one has to say something behind the other's back, how can you tell the world about my love? If you all cannot love me as I want you to love me, it is best not to speak to the world about me. Let's put an end to all hypocrisy. Let hypocrisy be completely wiped out from your hearts. You should all have one heart, a clean heart. We are one family. I would love to see that.
See, we must always understand that what these are extracts of messages given by Baba from time to time at different places under different scenario circumstances. So any message from Baba, we need to look into the context of why the message was given and the audience. From this message, it seems that he is addressing some people who are sometimes, very jubilant about Baba being the avatar. He's the rock star. He's awesome. He's a magic man. He does quick fix. And at sometimes you just want to shy away from Baba, maybe in that group. The other aspect that comes out quite prominently is that there are groups of people who may not necessarily get along well with each other doing Baba's work. So here Baba is talking about harmony. So now let's see what Baba is trying to tell us. Have one heart. That means you should not have more than one heart, not have two hearts. That means at times you love Baba, at times you feel that he is the avatar, at times you don't feel anything about him. So, and many of us could be in that category when everything runs very smoothly for us. At that time, we do blah blah about Baba. Oh, he's great, he's done this for me, he's done that for me. But there may come a time when we need to go through certain circumstances, through certain aspects of life which we interpret and nomenclate as suffering. At that time, also, we must be very firmly rooted and anchored in the feeling that Baba knows what I'm going through and I'm going through for a purpose. Let me find out what is the learning from what I'm going through. And at that time also, one should keep Baba as our companion. Baba says, if you want to stick to me, you must have a clean heart. By clean heart, I suppose in my interpretation, in the context, it means that sometimes you have a clean heart, sometimes you become very selfish, sometimes you run to this master, this guru, that saint, thinking that Baba is not doing anything for me. There is no use in sometimes having faith and sometimes having doubt. In this, I'm reminded of an instance. I am sure I must have narrated this in this forum as well as in several forums, but I'll cut it short. There was a family, they had a son, he had fallen very ill, and they were going to the local GP, general practitioner, and he wasn't showing any progress. They sent, we call it tar bheja, which means they sent a telegram to Baba saying that this is the situation and we are undergoing the treatment of doctor so and so. Baba sent the telegram again saying, continue with the same doctor. This went on for quite some time when he was not improving at all. In fact, he was deteriorating all the time. And Baba kept on saying the same thing, continue with the same doctor. Ultimately, there came a time when the doctor said, when the family felt that he may not survive under this particular doctor because he is not at all competent, and they forcefully took the child and admitted him in a nice hospital. As always, the hospital doctor said, what have you done with the case? It has been spoiled. It is so, you are so fortunate that you brought him in the nick of time. Otherwise, one more day and he would have gone. All these are common statements which doctors make. Dr. Kunda doesn't make such statements. I know that. No, she doesn't make. She says, no, neither do her husband.
Neither does her.
And her husband. All right. Now, the boy survives. Everything went on very well. And the family members, kept on, as we say, packing the parents. What have, see, it is good that we intervened, otherwise he would have died. What sort of a Baba you are having? He is absolutely hopeless, useless, blah, blah. He's a false guru. After some years, it so transpired that this man went and did all that anybody should not be doing. He was a shame to his family. The family had to really look down upon, and they were really, they were really hammered that what sort of a boy they are having. Again, one fine day in the darshan program, the parents go and bitterly weep, catching hold of Baba's lotus feet, and Baba looks at them and he says, what can I do? What can I do? I wanted to save you from this day of shame because I knew that this soul is going to do such things and it is going to bring shame to the entire family. And I knew that had he continued with the same doctor on my advice, I knew he would have died. But because he would have died by your following my wish, he would have come to me. He would have been saved. Although he would have died, it would have been like he is saved. But now, what can I do about it? So, here Baba says there is no use in sometimes having faith and sometimes having doubt. No doubt, the parents did not have any doubt in this particular episode. But then the Taqdeer, the Nasib took the child in that direction. It is best then to leave me. Baba has said it umpteen number of times, very, very emphatically, that either I am the highest of the high or I am just an ordinary person like you all are. But please, please do not take me to be a saint, a sadhu, a pir, wali, aulia, mahapurush, a yogi, mahayogi. All these, I can never be categorized in these category. Either you put me as the highest of the high, or I'm just an ordinary person. It's like that. So here, again, I remember one instance. I don't quite, I'm not very not very sure about the circumstances, but there was some program happening, and uh, Baidul, Aga Baidul, who was Baba's Mandali, was sent to represent Baba and speak something about in that program. And after speaking, he came back. So Baba asked, what did you speak about? How did you? So he said that Baba I told people that Meher Baba is a very high saint. And the moment Baidulji said this, Baba was so furious. It's a shame, he said. It would have been okay if you had said that I am an ordinary person or I am a fraud. But you categorize me as a very, a very advanced saint. You have been living with me for so many years. Don't you know that I am no saint? I am not a sadhu. So, in short, Baba somehow was extremely sensitive to him being placed in any of these categories. I don't know if you are maybe aware, what was that magazine? Life
Life
Positive.
was.
There's a magazine called Life Positive. Very nice, very nice magazine. And the office of Life Positive happened to be just above our Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center. We are in Navyug Niwas third floor, same wing, A wing. They were in the same wing, Navyug Niwas A wing, fourth floor, just above. And the editor in chief of that magazine is a very close friend of Saumya. And of course, now she knows me also well. Now she's no more working there. And they brought out a magazine where they talked about, I don't know the what was the title of that magazine, but something to do with the saints, famous saints of India. And the front page had maybe more than 60, 70 small, like stamp size photographs of so many saints, so many saints. And what we were aghast to find that neither on the front page nor anywhere in the entire magazine a reference was made to Meher Baba. Although she knew we were Baba followers, she had taken some interviews of mine on the phone. We have donated, I would say, we have gifted her quite a few books of Meher Baba, the discourses and all that. And the only conclusion that I can draw, or rather we can draw, is that Baba is so smart, in a sense, so slimy, that he ensured that he is not included as one of the, one of the so-called great saints of India. You see, so you can imagine he must have, it must have been quite an effort for Baba to escape from that particular page and the entire magazine. But it was a good magazine. It is a good magazine, and they used to give good articles. But I really marveled. See, somebody who knows us, somebody to whom we have given gifts of Meher Baba's books. We talk about Meher Baba. We go and sit on in her chamber, because center we go. It's supposed to be open at 5:30. If we go at 5, we just pass half an hour with her for tea, coffee. And yet, how difficult it must have been for Baba to escape from that magazine. That's how I look at it positively. All right. So here Baba says it is best then to leave me. If you're going to have doubts and that, then leave me. Then you can lead your life in the world and be free. If you want to love me, you should not try to create confusion among yourself. In other words, we feel very confused whether Baba is the avatar or not is the avatar. And that is why Baba has given this liberty for each one of us to do what is known as, you can say, spiritual shopping or guru shopping or whatever you call it. You can go to every other place and find out, tap each one of them and find out. And if you, after tapping all this, if you find that no, Baba is the best, then you stick to him through thick and thin. Then there is no question of any doubts. It should never come at all. And how should we hold on to the Daman? Baba has given the examples, two examples. There may be many, but I'm just reminded of two right now. Many people sometimes leave Baba in the false understanding that I am such a sinner. I have done so many wrong things. I continue to do wrong things. How can I be counted as one of the lovers of Meher Baba? And therefore, it is best, Baba, you are very pure, you are very, divine. I cannot come into your group, and so you leave. That's one. So Baba says, very, very beautiful example Baba gives. How do you stick on to him? How do you hold on to his Daman? He gives the example of a kite. We all know a kite. And a kite has a tail. And we all know, because we used to do that, a tail is stuck to the kite. Now, the sticking material can be a gum, a camel gum. I'm not advertising for camel company by any way. Or it could be, we used to use rice. Rice means chawal, cooked rice, and then press it into what we call loda, and then we used to stick. Or there was something called lai. Lai is also sticking. material which the printers used for printing and all that. I mean, there could be different materials. Sorry, I'll speak a little softly. Somehow I tend to stretch my throat. There could be different materials, irrespective of whether the material is good, clean, dirty, smelly, ugly. Irrespective of that, if you use that material and if you stick the tail to the kite, the tail will go where the kite will go, irrespective of the material used. So Baba gives the example that irrespective of who you are, what you are, how beautiful you are, how ugly you are, how filthy you are, how sinful you are, your job is to keep on holding on to me like how the tail holds on to the kite. That was one example given. The second example was about a freight train engine. We call it a goods train. If you all know, goods train or a freight train has many carriages, and they don't have all same material. Some may have some very precious material. Some may have coal. Some may even have cow dung. Some may have some kind of garbage. Irrespective of what is the content of the carriage, as long as the carriage is linked to the engine via the other carriages, all these carriages will go where the engine will go. In other words, immaterial of what is the content in the carriage, that dirty carriage, that filthy carriage, that carriage with the garbage or whatever it is, it will also reach the destination if it is kept linked to the engine. So this is what Baba says, that you have to keep on holding to him all the time, irrespective of what the condition may be. You will be loving me best by loving each other. Again and again, Baba is emphasizing that he is in every heart. In fact, he is in every particle of dust, even. So the best way to love him is to love each other. If one has to say something behind the other's back, that means backbiting, that means slandering, that means showing your one uppishness, that means putting somebody down when he is not present, that means speaking anything about anybody whose presence is not there. If one has to say something behind the other's back, how can you tell the world about my love? So, in other words, if somebody is telling something about somebody to me behind that somebody's back, I take it that he would be saying the same thing about me in my absence to somebody. It's very simple. If somebody can dare to say something, then I would interpret it in such a way that it's best to keep that person at arm's distance. So Baba says that if you yourself do backbiting, if you are yourself criticizing somebody, see, criticism is good, constructive criticism is very good, but the person has to be present over there. But behind this back, if you are doing such things, then how can you talk about love? Because love is that which upholds you. Love is that which uplifts you. Love is that which is blind to your shortcomings, and love is that which will aggrandize your good points. So that is love. We are supposed, that is the meaning of love. If you are aggrandizing somebody's wrong points or bad points, we call it bad points, then that is not love. And if you are projecting yourself as a Baba lover, and if you are doing just that, so Baba says, how can you tell the world about my love if you yourself are behaving like this? If you all cannot love me as I want you to love me, it is best not to speak to the world about me. In other words, Baba wants us to be honest. Baba does not want us to be a hypocrite. That means that you have two sides, that on one side you are projecting yourself, you are projecting yourself as very loving, as very kind, as very understanding, as lot of concerns and all that. And on the other side, you are backbiting, you are criticizing, you are doing all these things which is actually putting the other person down. Let's put an end to all hypocrisy. Let hypocrisy be completely wiped out from your hearts. Hypocrisy means projecting or showing a face, whereas you are having something else in your heart. That means you are not having a clean heart. You are playing a double game. It is just like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You're doing like that. You should all have one heart, a clean heart. So whenever we meet in Baba's love, let our egos be kept aside. Let us meet as brothers and sisters. Let us be matured enough to understand the point of view of the other person. If there's a project, if there's something we are trying to do together, there is bound to be some, what should I say, disagreements. Disagreements are okay. That itself shows, in a sense, that you are all vibrant. But there should be no misunderstanding. You should not misunderstand things. So here Baba says you should all have one heart, a clean heart. We are one family. We must behave like one family with Baba as our father and mother in one. I would love to see that. In other words, one of the aspects of pleasing Baba is to ensure that we love each other, we do not backbite anybody, we are not hypocrites, and we live amicably, harmoniously as one family, and that would please Baba. So this is chapter number 39 complete. Any questions on this, please?
No one's raised their hand so far, Cyrus.
Nobody.
Nobody is raising the hand.
Yeah.
Check the legs also, huh?
All right.
Okay.
40, chapter 40. Love me silently. If you love me, let that love not be wasted by escaping through your lips in words. It is an insult to real love if and when such love happens to be deliberately exhibited. You have to be very particular about the purity of heart. You talk of love, but it is not easy to love. You should love God in such a way that apart from others not knowing about it, you yourself are not aware of it. For you to bow down to me, to perform my arti, to worship me is not what I have come for amongst you. I expect much from you. I have come to receive your love from you and to bestow my love on you. Love others as you would love yourself and all that is yours. If you feel for others in the same way as you feel for your dear ones, you love God.
All right. This is chapter number 40. Love me silently. Baba has emphasized this aspect, you know, that love is like a burning which is happening in your being, in your heart. But the burning should be such that no smoke should escape. In other words, there should be no show of our love for Baba. I remember an instance, and I'm sure all of you may be knowing about this, that there was a time, I suppose it was in Guru Prasad, when this was the last day, and Dr. Hoshang Bharucha was standing besides Baba. Baba was sitting, and there was one, what should I say, overwhelming love that came into him, and he started crying. The tears started coming out, and immediately Baba looked at him and said like this, like this. In other words, Love should be such, it should be like a fire burning within you, but no smoke means no outward expression or show of that. Talking about burning reminds me of the Parsi Agyaris and the Atash Beram, we call it, where there's a fire, of the holy fire, which is kept burning for 24/7. You see, and Baba had said, that this is just a symbol. This is a symbolic fire, 24/7, 365, on a leap year 366. Basically, it is just a symbol to signify that love should be burning in your heart, that longing to meet your beloved, to see your beloved, to become one with your beloved should be all the time in your heart. So the chapter is titled as Love Me Silently. I'm sure this another episode which I want to share. I'm sure I must have shared it, but please bear with me. There was once a Raja, a king, who was a very noble king who used to, do his, who used to take care of his kingdom in a very, very beautiful manner. Everybody was happy in the kingdom, everybody except one person, and that was the queen. And why was the queen not very happy about it? Is because the Raja, the king, never attended any of the religious ceremonies, the puja path, the karma kans, the ceremonies, the rituals, and all that. He never uttered the name of God ever in his life. And so the wife would, keep pestering him, telling him that why don't you come with me to the mandir or the masjid and all that. And he said, well, that's your, if you feel like going, you just go. I have to do my job, and my job is to conduct the affairs of my kingdom in a very nice way. So he used to continue to do that, and that hurt of the wife was always there, that my husband is not uttering the name of God, or my husband is not following any religious customs. One day, what had happened was, when the husband wakes up in the morning, he finds that there's a lot of gaiety. That there were, decorations all around the place, and people were enjoying, people were dancing, people were singing, people were happy. And all of a sudden, he just cannot remember as to what could be the occasion. Why is it that my entire kingdom is celebrating? What's happened? So, I mean, he asked some of them, "Okay, what is happening? Is there something special today? Is that a special day?" So those people said, well, we don't know. The queen, the Maharani said that today this is the happiest day in my life, and so you should celebrate, and we are all celebrating. We don't know what for she said this. So of course this went on. And then the Raja is asking the queen when he meets her, okay, what is all this about? Is there anything special today? So she says, yes, there is something extremely special. This is the day I've been waiting for all my life. And what is it? Tell me. And then the queen says, that yesterday night, in when we were sleeping, and when you turned side, you what we call karwat, when you turned sides, from your mouth, I heard you say God's name. And sorry, I'm very sorry. God's name. And the Raja said, oh my God. He said that all my life I had been loving my Lord secretly without allowing that love to spill over or to show anybody anything. And when he said, oh my God, what have I done? I have really loved my Lord secretly. And the queen said, oh my God, what have I done? I have revealed that to Airach, and we have heard it from Airach. Of course, Airach is a superb storyteller, so he would say it in so many details, But I've just tried to bring the crux of the story is that Baba wants us to love him, love God in that way, secretly within our own hearts, without letting anybody know. Baba is saying here, leave aside anybody. You yourself should not know that you are loving God. It should be so sahaj or natural and spontaneous. So here Baba says, if you love me, let that love not be wasted by escaping through your lips in words. Baba had said somewhere else also, we keep on bragging, oh, I love Baba, I love Baba. He said, if you really love Baba, you would not be there, you would not remain to utter those words, Baba, I love you. Because then you would have merged with him, merged in him. That should be the caliber of your love. That should be the height of your love. It is an insult to real love if and when such love happens to be deliberately exhibited. So here Baba has been a little kind with us. He's using the word deliberately. So if supposing it just wells, and you feel like tears coming, okay, that's fine. That's okay. So it seems. But sometimes some people would deliberately show how much they love Baba through certain acts, and Baba would not like that. You have to be very particular about the purity of heart. Again, here, purity of heart would mean the same thing, not to be a hypocrite. You talk of love, but it is not easy to love. And we all know that what love that we talk about is absolutely no love at all. When Baba talks about that height of love, where you actually forget yourself, where you lose yourself, where there is absolutely no care or concern for your own being, where you are only looking to the concern and the well-being of the other, and you are spending your time, money, energy for the well-being of the other. That Baba says is real love. You should love God in such a way that apart from others not knowing about it, you yourself are not aware of it. See, that means it should be so spontaneous, so natural, so without any show, that you just keep on loving Baba. And I feel loving Baba does not necessarily mean loving just that particular form of Baba or an idol of Baba or a frame of Baba. In my understanding, it means that you see Baba in each and everything, in each and every one. Baba says, for you to bow down to me, to perform my arti, to worship me is not what I have come for amongst you. So time and time again, at some other time, Baba said the three most unimportant things in spirituality, same thing, to bow down to me, to garland me, perform empty praise of, arti and all that. So how, what should I say, how waylaid we are by giving only that importance. I am not saying that one should not attend Aarti, please don't mistake me, or one should not bow down. Baba says that is not important. What is more important is that we love each other, meaning that we love God in each other. There is a difference between loving each other, that's fine, but loving Baba in them. Like Mani, Baba's sister Mani would often say, that when Baba was physically present, we used to, what's it?
One in the
We used to love all in the,
one,
no,
one in the
no, one, no, 1 minute. I'm getting confused.
many in the one.
We used to love many in the one. Now we have to see the one in the many. That means we are supposed to now see one, which is Baba in everyone, and seeing Baba in everyone, we should love them. And I don't know how much of my muting had taken place, but loving would mean so many attributes of love. That means having active concern for the well-being of the other. That means having patience with other. That means having tolerance. That means forgiveness. All these are various attributes of love. So Baba says, I'll repeat this. For you to bow down to me, to perform my arti, to worship me is not what I have come for amongst you. I expect much more, much from you. I expect much from you. I have come to receive your love from you and to bestow my love to you. So the central theme is love and love and love.